Hi, everyone. Welcome to School of Scarlet. Today I have another message for you. So, today's message is coming around our reality and how to embrace it and love it for what it is. So, what I'm seeing coming through is the ground. So, I've been walking around outside. I really love to do some grounding and walk on the earth. And so, as I was doing that, it came through to me that this reality is something to be totally embraced as it is in truth, without resisting any part of it, without wanting to change it, without wanting something different for this. Otherwise, we really suffer in this reality. And I recently posted a question on my community tab asking y'all about this, if you're enjoying this reality. And so the question and the answers, they were all split. So I had the answers were yes, no, and sometimes, and they were equally split, 33% or so each one. So what that tells me is that we're really struggling to enjoy this reality as it is. So the ground that I was walking on when I was grounding outside, it really began to speak to me and show me that there was no escaping the ground. If I tried to fly or jump or stay up in the air, I was just going to fall. You have to stay grounded. You have to stay in this reality. And this reality is just truth. There's no changing it. You have to kind of abide by the so called rules of the laws of this universe and how things work. And as much as you want to escape, let's say, the ground, you can't escape it, can you? You can try to escape it for a little bit, but over time you're going to fall. You're going to have to come back down to the ground. That's just how it is. So that's the message that's really coming through, that we really are to embrace this reality and realize that it is how it is. There is no escaping this, there is no changing this. So, what can you do? You can align with it, you can become one with it, you can flow with it, you can let it move through you. It is life, and you are life. So, it's just all one. So what also came through was kind of also something on my community tab. I recently posted a quote by UG Krishnamurti, and you guys can go back and check that out on the community tab. But it's really about conformity. And the other thing that was coming through for me was a puzzle. So I was seeing like different puzzle pieces. And I used to be a preschool and kindergarten teacher, and so I had a lot of puzzles in my classroom. And there were always these children that didn't want to like spend the time to find the right pieces that went together. They were frustrated or they were just impatient, whatever it happens to be. And they would grab different pieces and they would try to force them together. And of course, they were very young at that time. I had to teach them not to do that because we would break the pieces, we would damage them, we would cause damage to this puzzle. So, what I saw coming through was like these children trying to force puzzle pieces together that did not fit, trying to like distort them and move them and make them fit and make them fit. And so that was kind of a sign to me that in our reality, a lot of us are trying to change the things that already are. And so when we meet people, they are as they are. They're not meant to be changed. They're special and unique as they are. So each puzzle piece is very unique. We're not made to make everybody the same. That would be a problem here on this earth. We're meant to expand, to have an infinite amount of variety and experience life. Every experience and person that every person on this earth has a different experience of life, a very different experience. We can think about like making a pot of stew and we put different ingredients in. And no pot of stew is really going to be exactly the same. It's going to be made differently. The heat, the different things, everything's going to be made differently. It's going to literally come out different. Even people say that when you cook with love, the food comes out tasting better. So this is what's coming through, is that we're really meant to let things kind of merge and marinate and happen within us in a very unique and special way. We don't have to be ashamed of the experiences we've been through. The merging, whatever's happening within us, we don't have to be ashamed of this. This is very natural. We're meant to have a very unique experience here on earth. And isn't it wonderful that we get to experience life here on earth? We get to experience relationships, we get to experience nature, animals, work. All of these things that we used to play when we were children, we get to experience them now, even as adults. And if we think about like moving to a different planet or somewhere else, there is nowhere else more wonderful than Earth. Why would we go somewhere else that's more barren or whatever? Life is here. So why not embrace what we have now? Be grateful for what we have now and really just go into life as a child, just playfully. Like, what are we going to play today? If you're a mother, embrace that motherhood role. You get to take your kids to school. You get to teach them things, take them to the doctor. Didn't you play all of that when you were little and really get excited about it? You get to cook for your husband or wife. You get to decorate your home. You get to go out and work in whatever job you ever wanted. Maybe you liked working with big machines. Now you work in construction, or, these were dreams you had as a child, and now you get to embrace them as an adult and really get out there in the world. So we're meant to embrace reality as it is without having to change it. The problems we have sometimes are when we try to change things. We see things and we want them different. And these are sometimes things that are not to be changed. The will of others, for example. What somebody chooses for their life is what they choose for their life. What someone chooses, as their partner is who they choose as their partner. What someone chooses as their job, that is what they choose. Whatever is in their heart and they decide to express here on earth, we are to honor that. We are not made to fit these pieces together and take them apart and rip them and try to see how they fit because we want them a certain way. The best way and the only way is to really take our pieces as they are and fit them together perfectly as they're already made to fit. You don't have to distort the pieces. They're already perfect as they are. This is heaven on earth. But when we are out of truth, when we are out of alignment, when we ourselves are distorting our own peace, you are a piece, I am a piece, and we're all very different. And when we try to distort the truth within our heart, or we try to change the will of others and all of this, we begin to suffer. We begin to have a negative experience here on earth. And that's not what we're meant to have. We're meant to have a very positive experience. We're supposed to be aligned with truth, love, and light. And that is it. Recognizing truth, recognizing love in all things, rather than seeing something distorted or wanting to change it or wanting to manipulate it or try to do some trick to it. It is the way it is. And so today you're kind of being called to really just leave those pieces as they are and let them be, because they're already perfect as they are and they're going to come together perfectly. You may not know why something happened in your life. You may not know why this person is this way or whatever, but eventually, when this is all said and done, all of the pieces fit perfectly together. There is no issues here on this earth. So that's what's coming through here today. It's just a sharing of the perfect reality that we're already in. So you're being called to be grateful, to embrace life, to connect with your inner child again, to go out there and play, experience your inner child, feel what your inner child wants to do today. Ask your inner child, what would you like to do today? It could be anything. A lot of times we go back to the things we used to do as children. Like I used to like crafts and painting and singing and dancing, so many things. So I try to incorporate some of that in my daily life here. So we want to try to really connect with those real truth aspects of ourselves, those unique, authentic pieces of ourselves, and let those flourish. And in there, you will find your unique gifts to share on this earth. So allow yourself to have fun. Allow yourself to connect with truth. The other part about truth is that truth is truth. Anytime we try to tell lies or, again, change or distort what we think or say things we don't feel or repress ourselves or whatever, or try to escape this reality through whatever kind of substances or things people do, distractions, these things are not meant for us in this way. This is not healthy. We're meant to align with truth, to experience every moment as it is, brand new and fresh. And each moment is packed with an infinite amount of things that can happen. And if we align with truth, we begin to see more and more beauty, and our experience of life changes from not liking this reality very much to loving it. So, next time you take a poll that's asking if you like this reality, you'll be more connected. You'll feel more in love with life because life is beautiful. And yes, it has its ups and downs, and there are things that sometimes we don't have the preference for, but overall, over time, when we connect with truth, when we embrace each moment as it arises, we begin to see that that's all there is. There's nothing outside of this. So I now share messages with you, a lot of inspirational type messages, messages that come through me, that flow through me, that I've always had these kind of messages flowing through me. But originally, I started this channel because I had a very unique experience of really not seeing life through any kind of commentary. I had what some people call like a non dual experience. And in that state, I didn't really experience a lot of commentary. I didn't even experience myself. So, what I was experiencing was life as it was, like without the commentary, without the self consciousness of the self, just experiencing it as it was, just like a play by play. Like literally, I was one with everything. And that experience was literally bliss. And you can be blissed out on some of these experiences that happen to us sometimes for a long time. But I was in that space for a while and I got to experience how life is. And life truly, without that commentary, without that self consciousness, is so beautiful, so beautiful. During that time, I was living in a little cottage in the middle of nowhere, and there wasn't much to do at all. I didn't even have TV, internet, nothing. I mean, literally nothing. And I began to think about what was happening in this little cottage, and I went outside and I would sit on my porch and I would experience the most beautiful things. Birds, animals, insects just began to come, and everything was so vibrant and beautiful. And it was because I wasn't focused or distracted on things in my mind or about myself. I was literally just one with everything as an observer. So you're being called today to be an observer, to rise above, to observe this reality, to see it for its beauty. Yes, it's this is your body, this is the vessel that's happening, but truly you're observing. You're not really in, like, you're not just this body. You're the observer of everything. And you're the observer of so much that's going on. And if we can kind of quiet down these distractions, we can begin to see the beauty of life. So you're being called today also to experience silence. So many people are afraid to be silent, and especially people of my generation that love to have like lots of stuff playing, the TV in the background, maybe music in our ear, or it's never really silent, right? And this can be a very huge distraction. And I learned this when I was staying at this little house in the cottage, this little cottage I have. There was no distractions there. And so it was beautiful. And, at first it could feel a little scary. Oh, you're all alone. But when you're all alone, you begin to experience life as it truly is. You begin to have the experience of hearing everything within your own being, everything outside of yourself, everything crystal clear, without distractions, without anything else interfering with it. So you're being called to kind of have some time of silence, to really embrace silence and get into that silence, because you are everything, and being with yourself should be a joy, should be an experience, an exploration of your own self. So explore yourself, spend some time alone, turn off the music, turn off that TV, put that book down, and just spend some time totally alone and just experience life, experience nature. Nature is very unique. It literally vibrates at the vibration of unconditional love. So when we're outside, we feel peace, we feel tranquility. And I know a lot of you live in the cities and things like that, but this is another thing. You're being called to walk outside, to experience nature as it is without judging it. Just go outside and just watch, observe, practice being that observer, because you're truly just that observer here on earth. And some things are funny, and some things, there's nothing here that's absolutely horrible. Everything is just as it is. And as we align more with truth, our experiences project that to us. So, yes, some people could say, oh, I saw this on the news, this happened to this person. But is it happening to you? Is it happening to you? Because you are in your own experience of life. Everyone is meant to experience something different here. And that person's experience, let's say on the news, could be just their experience. That's something that they have to go through. That's one of the puzzle pieces in their puzzle that's going to one day all come together to make that beautiful picture. There's nothing wrong with that. We just don't need to judge it. It's happening, but we don't know why. And there's things that have happened to us, and people would say, oh, that's so horrible. Why did that happen? Or whatever. But we have hindsight and we look back and we see how that puzzle piece actually now fits in the puzzle. And we don't want to get rid of it. Anybody who has come into these realizations of spiritual realization or anything like that does not want to change their reality. Have not met one that wants to change their reality or their past or anything. Even when they've had horrific things happen to them, they embrace those pieces of the puzzle and they now see how it all fits. So you're being called today to really embrace reality as it is, just truth, light, and love, rawness with everything. Experience it as it is, soberly, and just one with everything. So I hope that this message resonated with you today. This message may not resonate with everybody, and if it doesn't, don't make it fit. It is just for whoever it resonates with. And if it does, give me a thumbs up, a heart, comment down below. I love responding to your comments. A lot of your comments even expand a lot of what I talk about and give more clarity, even to people that are reading the comments. So thank you so much to everyone that comments on, the quotes, on these videos, everything like that. We are a community here at School of Scarlet, and I welcome you here. If you're new here, I hope that you'll subscribe. I hope that you'll come back. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back, and I will catch you on the next message. I love you all.